Very good morning to you. It's 7 a.m. Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm going to ask Mike if this was one of the coldest nights so far this year, maybe just this season. He'll tell us. Welcome to On Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, taking your calls at 888-658-0234. We had some calls right before the show, and I answered. I said, "Good morning on New Jersey Mornings," and all I heard was meteorologist Mike Pavetta has the detailed Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So, is this one of the coldest overnights/mornings of the year, or is it just since the fall season?
Well, absolutely since the fall season. That I can say with certainty. But I will go back to see, in the 2025 record, if it is the coldest. Because if Pam, our director, the one who loves the snow and the frost, said it's a little bit chilly, that's how you know it's really cold. Yeah, I know. Mind blown, mind blown. I know, right? So we're all looking outside this morning and going, how bad can it be? And they stepped outside and we're like, whoa. Yeah, there is a shock to the system considering with actual air temperatures, not wind chills, an actual air temperature of 7 right now in Sussex, 10 in Morristown, even 9 over a little bit further back from the Parkway there in the Pine Barrens and Tom's River, 9 degrees for you, 19 in Cape May. The deep freeze is upon us. These are typical morning temperatures that you would see in late January. Then, here's the cherry on top. You factor in that wind chill, and it feels like 5 on the green in Morristown, like 9 in Atlantic City. Wow, that is cold, and it feels quite chilly all through the rest of the day. Wind chills a little gustier down the shore, 22-mile-per-hour winds. That is numbing cold over in Cape May. And it is a solid 16 to 22 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So that cold front lived up to its name and certainly brought us some very chilled weather. Good news, it clears out our sky. We have beautiful sunshine all day today. Lighter winds, not expected to have a whole lot of gusts except down the shore where it's a bit breezier. That's in advance of the snow that begins falling tomorrow morning. Probably get through most of the morning rush unscathed, but as we head toward later on in the morning, 9, 10 a.m., you can see some of those showers developing, some snow showers north and west of 287. Predominantly rain and all changing to rain with that southerly wind pushing in by tomorrow lunchtime, and then it zips out of here by the early afternoon. So we're left with some rain and snow mix in the late morning, changing to all rain by the afternoon, and then it moves out into tomorrow evening. The rest of the week, very cold. We stay in the teens for wake-up temperatures, climbing only into the 30s each afternoon. So yeah, the brutal cold is not going anywhere anytime soon.
All right, so there you have it. So basically, put gravy on high, and keep it at boiling all day, and keep your hands over the gravy. I got it. Okay, that's what I took out of the whole forecast is put gravy
We
on
call it
high.
sauce over here, so I'm not sure where that was
Sauce. You got
going,
to say.
but it's
You have to say
sauce.
sauce. Sauce. Okay. So people from other parts of the country, I had a friend of mine when I first moved to Florida, and by the way, they say Florida. When I first moved to Florida, they said, "Doesn't it hurt to talk like that?"
Doesn't it hurt to talk
And
like
I
that?
said,
Oh my
"Yes." Now
goodness.
you know the pain. Now you know the pain of being from the New York area. All right, Mike, we'll check back, sir. Appreciate you. It says it's 21 degrees here, and I think that's because the thermometer that I have is about 10 feet away from the house. So I think it's getting radiating warmth because everything else outside is saying cold right now. It says it's only 11 in Trenton. Again, inland, away from the water, definitely colder. And I think that's what it's more like outside. We had to crank the house heat because the regular temperature we kept it at meant nothing here. It was like, yeah, really? 68? Yeah, I don't think so. 7:04 right now is our time. In terms of traffic, crash on the Garden State Parkway southbound, exit 159 by I-80 in Saddlebrook with the right lane blocked. We have a traffic signal down Route 67 right now, southbound, south of Main Street, Fort Lee, with the right lane closed. And a water main break. That's always awful this time of year because you could end up with piles of ice and dangerous roads, very dangerous. Water main break, US Route 46, westbound by Riverview Drive in Totowa. All lanes are closed. That is going to be an absolute mess, and I feel for the crews who have to work in that. Sorry about that, guys and ladies. We have a down pole on Route 23, both directions north of Pond School Road in Wantage. All lanes closed there. And right now, you're approaches to the Hudson River, we have a gridlock alert day in effect in Manhattan. Yes, I know every day is like a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. Today is specifically an issued one because everyone comes in to do their shopping and look at the tree. So right now, a mess. It is 40 minutes at the Lincoln, 35 at the Holland. Take a look at the GWB approach, bumper to bumper at this hour. Upper level on the right, lower level on the left. It's going to cost you 45 minutes now. You wait a little bit, it'll be closer to an hour. So it's going to be a mess. Give yourselves time. It is 7:05 right now. Alina Habba has resigned as New Jersey's interim U.S. attorney after a federal appeals court ruled that she had been serving unlawfully. Appointed by President Trump in March, her departure comes after her legal disputes over her authority disrupted court proceedings, contributed to some resignations among prosecutors. Habba will now serve as a senior advisor to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Her deputy, Desiree Grace, and other senior prosecutors will assume divided leadership responsibilities because, see, the Justice Department ultimately has the authority to appoint the prosecutor for the state. After a certain amount of time, though, if that person is not voted in by the U.S. Senate, then the local justices, the judges of the Supreme Court, or it's a special court in New Jersey, they get to select their judge. However, if you have somebody in an interim basis doing the job, then it gets, even for me, it's confusing. So apparently they have these people doing this on an interim basis, and that will cover this. I'm sure there'll be some appeal by New Jersey. The Justice Department plans on appealing the court's ruling in this case, leaving the New Jersey office under close federal oversight. This is going away nowhere fast. It is 7:07 now. New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin has announced charges against Robert Sinnott Jr., a former volunteer fire chief and retired police officer accused of sexually assaulting multiple firefighters he allegedly mentored. Investigators say Sinnott forced non-consensual sexual contact on victims in 2022 and 2023 at his home, the firehouse, and other locations. He allegedly handcuffed or restrained the firefighters under the guise of training, and in some instances took photos of them while they were restrained. Sinnott was arrested December 4th in Florida by a SWAT team. He's awaiting extradition to New Jersey. The charges include 4 counts of criminal sexual contact, 1 count of official misconduct, carrying potential prison time of up to 10 years. Authorities are asking anybody with information to contact the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability and remind the public that Sinnott is presumed innocent unless proven guilty. 7:08, and Mark Paulino, a 64-year-old retired New Jersey elementary school teacher and Santa performer, you could see why with the beard, was arrested on multiple child pornography charges after allegedly uploading illegal files online. Mercer County authorities executed a search warrant at his Hamilton Township home, and they seized evidence. Paulino faces up to 10 years in prison, fines for second-degree charges. Investigators say his access to children through teaching and performing as Santa heightened the urgency of the investigation. Law enforcement asking anybody with info to contact the ICAC unit. He is currently detained pending trial. 3 people, including a child, were killed in a multi-vehicle crash on the New Jersey Turnpike Sunday. It happened about 1:30 in the afternoon. Mercer County's East Windsor Township was the location. Authorities say a tractor-trailer crashed into an SUV that happened to be stopped on the side of the road. The collision backed up traffic for hours. Emergency responders quickly arrived at the scene to begin their investigation. Unfortunately, it was too late for the victims, 44-year-old Ellen Waith, 47-year-old Quasi Waith, and 1 child from Bloomfield, all killed in the crash. Apparently, there was another child in the car. We don't know their condition, but apparently they are alive. So we keep our fingers crossed and say a prayer for that child. 7:09 right now. Governor Murphy signed the state's 2026 $50.6 billion budget, $50.6 billion, into law. The budget includes increased funding for education, transportation, and public safety initiatives. Lawmakers dumped more of your taxes into the boondoggle known as renewable energy and economic recovery programs. 2 things repeatedly proven to be bullshit, wastes of money. You even have people who are at the pinnacle talking about the global warming and climate change, now saying, maybe we exaggerated. Maybe it wasn't the case. There might be changing climate. We have nothing to do with it. So why are we spending $51 billion on it if we have nothing to do with it? Officials say the plan aims at balancing fiscal responsibility with critical public services. The budget also addresses property tax relief and health care funding. Governor Murphy calls it a responsible blueprint for continued state growth. Many Republicans are calling it an overly expensive piece of garbage. Think about this. The state of Florida, I know we keep talking about Florida, but it is sort of New Jersey and New York South. The state of Florida has nearly 3 times the population of the state of New Jersey, but yet their budget is just 2 times our state budget. How are they able to do it with so much less money? Their officers get paid like $100,000 a year. They have all paid fire departments, not volunteer. They got a great education system. Their schools are really ranked up there. Why is it that, and the roads are all brand new. So why are they able to do it for 1/3 less budget? Figure it out. You keep voting Democrat, folks. Florida's run entirely by Republicans. New Jersey is run entirely by Democrats. Do math. Do the math. Just open your mind one day and do the math. 7/11, Governor Murphy announced State Police Superintendent Colonel Patrick Callahan will retire effective December 31st after 31 years of service. Colonel Callahan was sworn in as acting superintendent in 2017. He previously served as deputy superintendent of operations, overseeing 1,800 troopers. Throughout his career, he held key roles in emergency management, including leading recovery efforts after Superstorm Sandy and coordinating security for Super Bowl 48. Governor Murphy praised Callahan for his dedication, calling him an indispensable advisor and trusted colleague who exemplified the core values of honor, duty, and fidelity. Callahan expressed pride in his accomplishments and gratitude to the men and women of the state police, pledging support to the incoming administration and personnel. He lives in Warren County with his wife and 4 kids. Good luck to him and enjoy the retirement. It is 7/11. President Volodymyr Zelensky declared yesterday that Ukraine would not surrender territory, rejecting a central Russian demand that President Trump had incorporated into his latest proposal to end the Kremlin's war. Zelensky said, quote, "Under our laws, under international law, and under moral law, we have no right to give anything away." Well, all the land that is now Ukraine was not always Ukraine. So, for all of us Americans who think, why should you give away land? Because it wasn't always Ukraine. It was sort of declared Ukraine. The unequivocal declaration that Ukraine will not surrender land could mark the collapse of President Trump's peace plan. We will see what happens. Something tells me that Volodymyr better do something fast. 7:12 is our time. Morning sun makes way for clouds later, highs low 30s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with your full Garden State forecast, and we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. You're watching on Thursday mornings. Back in 2 minutes. Don't go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a nonprofit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AeraHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. I'm Ken Rosato, 7:15, and we are taking calls at 888-658-0234. Morning sun, clouds later, highs low 30s. We'll see. Right to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, there's so many analogies that it's cold as and I can't say them on the air. And even with my mouth, I can't say them on the air. So we'll just let you conjure up a few, but it's cold.
Yeah. It's so numbingly cold that yesterday was outside trying to reinstall the doorbell in the front, and the wind was howling. Couldn't feel your fingers after a few minutes. It's just one of those days where without every layer of clothing necessary, you will find yourself probably in some deep trouble, because with the wind pushing in some very dry and cold air today, this is not wind chill advisory criteria, but you really have to feel for those that have to work outside in the daylight today. I mean, staying warm is tough, even with the sunshine that works through central New Jersey. Highs today only the upper 30s, struggling to make it just above freezing even through this afternoon. And then the forecast wind chill later on tonight down in the 20s and 30s as the rain is falling tomorrow. Gets clear and windy again for Thursday morning. We're back down in the freezer at 4 above 0 over in Sussex, feeling like 7 this time Thursday morning, even right down toward the shore, down in the teens and 20s. Do it again on Friday, feeling like the single digits again through Sussex and Morris County. Hackensack only feels like 10 due to those winds that'll be rushing in from the south and west. Now, tomorrow, winds get very gusty with that rain. It'll feel slightly milder, like it's in the 40s, but again, with a 34 mile per hour wind, we're talking horizontal rain tomorrow afternoon. Not all that pleasant, and the winds rush in from west, driving in some colder, drier air through the rest of the week before turning lighter on Friday into Saturday. So the bigger picture here showing some of that rain right now offshore. Our system for tomorrow is off to the west, showing up as snow, but again, by the time it reaches here, those warmer Atlantic waters changing a lot of that snow to rain. And you can see that with the futurecast, likely some ice developing at first as that rain changes to, as the ice or snow changes to ice and rain throughout the course of the morning. All rain is done by about 4 or 5 o'clock, even down the shore, and then we're left with just very cold conditions with another round of chilly weather going into Thursday and Friday. Our temperatures throughout the weekend staying chilly. You see the teens there on Friday, and the weekend forecast, not a whole lot of heat. Highs in the 30s only with a mix of clouds and sun, Ken.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We're looking up. We have all these local incidents right now that there are no cameras for. So we're like frantically searching for traffic for everybody so you see it. But I think even the cameras said, hey, it's too cold. I'm turning down. I'm done. I'm going to get warmth. All right, Mike. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. In terms of traffic, there is a lot of it. So I'll just let you know what it is. So we have a crash on Route 130 in both directions, impacting both directions north of Riverton Road in Cinnaminson Township. All lanes are closed. Even hard to find that on a map. We have a crash on the Garden State Parkway southbound at exit 159, which is I-80, and you would think there would be a camera there, and of course there is, but it's not working right now. This is in Saddlebrook, one right lane block. So again, that's the Garden State crash southbound at exit 159. We have a traffic signal down on Route 67 southbound, south of Route 56 Main Street, Fort Lee, with a right lane closed. And we have a water main break on Route 46 westbound, Riverview Drive in Totowa, all lanes closed there. Also a down pole on Route 23, affecting both directions north of Pond School Road in Wantage. Now we have our Hudson River crossings, and they're extremely heavy as we have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. So right now, the Hudson River crossings, Lincoln and Holland, both reporting 35 to 40 minutes across. Take a look at the GWB upper and lower level. They are bumper to bumper. Upper on the right, lower on the left. Upper will save you about 3 minutes. Doesn't save you much. Either way, you should try to take mass transit or give yourself a good 30 minutes at least extra travel time making your way in to Manhattan. So much for congestion pricing. It's just a boondoggle, as we told you. It was all to make money. The congestion pricing did crap to alleviate congestion. They can tell you what you want. I've talked to locals. I go into Manhattan at least once a week. I used to go in every day. Now I go in once a week. It's congestion. It is just what it was before. So there you have it. They're just making money, and that's all this was about. 7:20 is the time. And what would you say to leaders who want to get more involved in their communities but aren't sure where to start? We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Excuse me while we re-rack here. See, Pam, this is what happens when you restructure the show during the show. Sorry. So let's do this. All right. PSE&G and the PSEG Foundation are launching a $1.5 million community relief initiative to support New Jersey families facing financial hardship. More than 25 nonprofit partners, including Shares Nation and major regional food banks, will receive funding for energy assistance, housing support, and hunger relief. The company says the initiative is designed to strengthen organizations that serve as the backbone of New Jersey's social service network, and that is a good thing. Several partner agencies say the funding comes at a critical moment as rising costs continue to strain households across the state. The announcement coincides with the company's first nonprofit partner conference, bringing together more than 135 leaders to collaborate on long-term solutions. PSEG says the goal is to expand access to essential services and help build a more affordable future for communities throughout New Jersey. It's 7:21. Most Supreme Court justices yesterday appeared to be leaning toward allowing President Trump to tell a former Federal Trade Commission senior worker that she's done, fired, adios. This could dramatically expand presidential power over independent agencies. Despite a statute protecting FTC commissioners from being terminated without cause, the High Court's conservative majority seemed concerned that Congress had taken too much executive power from the presidency. Remember, there is a co-equal amount of power. Each co-equal meaning all the same, right? Co-equal. So that means that Congress doesn't have more authority than the executive branch, and the Supreme Court doesn't have more authority than Congress. They all have they have their jobs, is in effect what it says. And the Constitution outlines what their jobs are. So apparently the courts decided, or are looking at the fact that Congress has had too much authority over executive power. And the formation of independent agencies. At issue before the High Court was President Trump's firing of a woman named Rebecca Slaughter from her position as one of 5 FTC commissioners in March. Now, it's more than just terminating her. She was allegedly connected to a number of things that may have caused some conflict of interest, to say the least. That's one of the reasons why he wants her out. Well, the Federal Trade Commission Act says commissioners can only be booted for, quote, inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office. Well, what do you call that? That's what you got to think about. Okay. Lower courts ruled against Trump. By the way, the man you just saw was defending her in court. Now, that's the gentleman right there, Amit Agarwal. He's fighting on behalf of Rebecca, trying to let her keep her job. In September, though, the Supreme Court allowed Trump's firing of Ms. Slaughter to take effect while it considers the case. So she remains terminated. The question is, can she be brought back? Will she be forced to be brought back? And as of now, it doesn't look like it's going to go that way. Ultimately, the president, whoever the president is, Democrat or Republican, is the CEO of the executive branch. And the Federal Trade Commission is under the executive branch. I mean, it's as simple as that. It is 7:23. Stop at a bus lane, you will automatically get fined. This is what you get for voting Democrat in New Jersey, folks. Congratulations. There's a New Jersey bill that would automatically fine drivers for parking, I get that, or idling in bus lanes. All right, you pull over into a bus lane, elderly, not paying attention, you don't realize it's a bus lane, you're trying to make a right turn. The buses will have cameras on them that will snap a picture of your plate, and you'll get a fine in the mail automatically. That's what the good Dems, to try to raise money on your dime, want to do. So this has passed the Assembly Science, Innovation, and Technology Committee. Why that is the committee in charge of this, why they're given the authority to look over this, I have no idea. Maybe because of the technology of the camera on the bus. So if you stop in a bus lane the first time, you get a $45 fine. Do it again and again. Each time it's $135. If you don't pay that fine, you lose your license and your registration. If you drive without a license or registration, you go to jail. Unless you're an illegal alien, then you can do whatever the hell you want. And we'll leave you alone. So just tell everybody, no speak English. And by the way, that's not making fun of any particular nationality, because I can speak 7 languages and my family is from a lot of places. The bill still requires approval from the full Assembly and Senate before it can reach the governor's desk, but these are all liberal Democrats, folks. So if it comes to making money for the state and their pet projects, They will pass it. It'll be signed into law, I promise you. This flies directly, by the way, in the face of the Confrontation Clause in the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Read it, the Confrontation Clause. That guarantees you have the right to face your accuser in court. Well, how do you face your accuser if your accuser is an auto camera that snapped a picture? You can't. How do you defend yourself and say, well, the thing automatically snapped because the bus hit a bump? You don't know. There's no way to do that. Somebody's going to have to take this to the Supreme Court before this becomes negated. So you have to think about that, but expect your license and registration to be suspended if you don't pay this fine. Keep voting that way, folks. RWJ Barnabas Health Children's Health Network partnered with United Airlines and the YWCA to give hospitalized children the trip of a lifetime, a special simulated flight to the North Pole. Very cool. Continuing a tradition that has been bringing joy for more than 30 years, kids and their families boarded a United aircraft before being whisked away to a nearby terminal, transformed into a winter wonderland. The space was fully decorated as the North Pole, where Santa and the elves greeted the children for a magical holiday celebration. Many of these young patients are battling serious illnesses, and for some, this was their very first time on a plane. The event included families from several RWJ Barnabas Health Children's Hospitals, the Bristol Myers Squibb Children's Hospital at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Children's Hospital of New Jersey at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, University Hospital, and Children's Specialized Hospital. And aging gives us a lot of wrinkles, thinning hair, loss of flexibility, slowing of brain, but the process also unfolds at a microscopic level as the energy source inside most cells dies. You ever hear of mitochondria? Listen up. Scientists at Texas A&M University have discovered a way to recharge aging and damaged cells, which could lead to better treatment for things like Alzheimer's, muscular dystrophy, and fatty liver disease. See, cells get their energy from the mitochondria found in the fluid that surrounds the nucleus of the cell. The mitochondria are important in fighting viruses and creating important chemicals in the body. As people age, your mitochondria sort of die off and weaken. But now scientists have figured out a way to put stem cells with their strong mitochondria next to the older cells and transfer the energy in, thus making the old haggard cells young again. We'll see where it goes. It is 7:28. When we come back, the 2025 New Jersey State Teacher of the Year will join us. And our phone lines are open at 888-658-0234. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings on a Tuesday. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
chilly. Let's see, it says 21 degrees in northern New Jersey. I don't buy it. Let's see. 14 degrees is the official temperature in northern New Jersey. Right now, it is 11 in Trenton. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. A chilly morning. That's all you need to know. Morning sun makes way for clouds later. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, I think the sensor for the thermometer for this studio is located about 8 feet too close to the house. And so it's getting
Mm.
radiated warmth because it's not 21 here. There's no way.
Yeah, you hit the nail on that, especially with a lot of sensors, especially the car sensors, right? Reading so
Yeah.
warm this summertime, same thing. All that it's solar irradiance on a day like today, because you get a lot of sunshine, but remember, air temperature measured in the shade. And on a day like today, whether you're in the shade or the sun, it's gonna feel cold no matter what. A lot of clear skies this afternoon, even down the shore, but with highs struggling just to make it to 40 north of Atlantic City. You will make it to 41 in Cape May, but the wind will make it feel that much colder. Wind chills right now, pretty gusty over toward Atlantic City and Cape May, where your gusts are up to 20 miles per hour, and the wind chill makes it feel about 10 to 15 degrees colder. We're nowhere near our 47-degree average high for the day. All the clear sky today makes it feel super chilly. Notice there's a little bit of a white tinge to this map. This is the infrared satellite, which actually picks up the temperature of the clouds. Well, when the ground is that cold, it matches that of the temperature of the clouds, tens of thousands of feet high in the sky. So you see a little bit of a whitish color toward that just because the satellite thinks it's cloudy because it's that cold. It kind of, interesting to wrap your head around given how chilly this weather is. Well, we have a little bit of a southerly breeze coming off of the Atlantic tonight. Again, that brings in that rain snow mix at first, north and west of 287. Just a plain cold rain tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, wrapping up by evening rush. And then while it's breezy tomorrow night, wind switch direction, clear out the clouds, and we're back to the freezer by Thursday morning. Actual air temperatures down in the low 20s across the state, by rebounding only to about 32, and then staying at or below the freezing mark, even going into the rest of the work week. So, in terms of rainfall and snow for tomorrow, it's a very light, sloppy accumulation north and west of 287. And then when all of that wet weather pushes on through, we get a reinforcing shot of cold air, and with that chilly air sticking around through the upcoming weekend, I think Friday into Saturday has another round of clouds, and then we're right back to more cold weather into next week. So can't really find some relief from the cold as it stays chilly going into Thursday and Friday. Overnight lows down in the 20s, afternoon highs not even getting to freezing by Monday. That is some really chilly weather even into next week on the shore points forecast. Maybe a little chance of some flurries by Sunday down the shore. But again, beyond that, very cold to snow as we take it into the last few days of fall. I know, it's not even winter yet, Ken. It's still fall for the next 11 days.
Keep pointing that out. But here's something to look
Mhm.
forward to. You know how dark it is. I was talking to my mother about this last night. It's right as of the solstice, the
Yes.
winter solstice. From the day after, we get lighter, or we get one more minute or so of sunlight each day, right until the summer solstice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
it goes slower around the solstices and then much faster through the equinoxes. So, like, it's why in March and April you get 3.5 more minutes of daylight each day. So it really ramped up in its speed.
see, that's the extent of my science knowledge. After that, right downhill. Well, we have a teacher coming on right now who knows a lot more than either one of us, and we'll talk to her in just a second. So not only a teacher, but the teacher of the year. So this is like the teacher. So I'm very embarrassed at my lack of intelligence right now, but we'll talk to her. Mike, thank you very much. We appreciate you, sir. It is, again, I think a malfunctioning thermometer here in northern New Jersey. We have a couple of sources. So one I'm going to use is 14 degrees northern New Jersey, 11 degrees now in Trenton, and it's 12 degrees in Cape May. It's cold. basically cold, brick cold, as they like to say, in the brick city of Newark. In terms of traffic, right now we have a problem on Route 130. This is in Cinnamon Township. All lanes closed north of Riverton Road in Cinnamon. So that's going a little further south in New Jersey. Just expect that. Route 130 is a big road, and that's going to be a problem with that crash. On the Garden State Parkway toward the northern part of the state, we have a crash southbound at exit 159 by I-80 in Saddlebrook with the right lane blocked there. We don't have a camera on that, unfortunately, but if we did, we'd show you that. We have a traffic signal down Route 67 southbound south of Main Street, Fort Lee, with the right lane closed, and a water main break, just a mess. Route 46 westbound Riverview Drive in total with all lanes closed there. A down pole on Route 23, both directions impacted north of Pund School Road in Wantage. All lanes are closed. And we go over to the Hudson River crossings right now. The Holland Tunnel is 25-30 in. The Lincoln is 35-40. It is a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. Try to avoid driving and try to take mass transit if you could. Look at the GWB. Upper and lower levels 80-95 approach absolutely stopped. And that is partly because we have a disabled vehicle on the GWB, lower level eastbound on the New Jersey side. So lower levels on the left. Looks like the upper is even more impacted on the right, but either way, that's going to cost you 45 to 50 minutes into Manhattan. 7:36 is our time, and Stephanie Luckenauer is the 2025 New Jersey State Teacher of the Year and author of the book, Let the Glitter Settle. She's known for her innovative approach in the classroom, her advocacy for students and teachers, and her mission to help young people feel seen, supported, and empowered. And I have to do this. I rehearse this. So we'll say, good morning, Ms. Lockenauer.
Thank you. I feel right at home now.
I had to. As I was writing that last night, I said to myself, be a goofball, because that's exactly what this poor woman has to hear every day. Good morning, Ms. Lockenauer. You probably have much nicer students than that, I bet. But congratulations on the title. Clearly, it is deserved to because of the way it was given to you. So what's it been like stepping into this role?
It was amazing. I just completed my first year as the State Teacher of the Year, and now I'm back in the classroom, which you can kind of see behind me. And yeah, I'm really excited to be back and see with students again, and all the things I've experienced and learned, I'm now able to implement into my new classes.
Very cool. So what's it been like for the year? What was your role over the course of the year? You traveled state, right?
Yeah, I got to go to all 21 counties. I got to speak in numerous schools. I delivered a lot of professional development, but I also got to sit down on a lot of classes. And I can say that we have some of the strongest public education. So it was amazing to get to see all of that firsthand. I also had a cubicle at the Department of Education, which I learned really quickly that cubicle life is not for me. So that's a good thing I chose teaching and glad they picked the right career for me.
This is a phenomenal role, because you really got it's sort of oversight without the responsibilities, but you get to be an outside observer, and you could make a lot of comments, and I'm sure whatever you observe will go a long way with people. Were there areas of improvement that you saw, and were there just, I mean, without pinpointing the districts, we don't want anyone to feel thrown under the school bus. Were there certain districts that you think that, you know what, if only they did this, this, and this, versus other districts? And were there possible solutions you had in mind from what you saw? Without mentioning them.
To be perfectly honest, I think truly that we have really strong leaders in our state.
Good.
I think that our schools and our teachers are all doing incredible job and the best that they can. And what I do see and what I've seen in every school that I've been in are educators across the line. So teachers, administrators who truly care about what they're doing and are looking at the best resources they have, using the resources that they have wisely, and coming every day doing the best they can in education.
Amen. Yeah, look, I speak as a person whose mother was a school administrator, and my mother-in-law was a school teacher. So, and so I've seen, I've watched my mother-in-law in a super poor district in Florida literally go around the family and say, can we donate for every year? We used to donate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece to try to get money for, I'm sure you've done this, for your school kids who come from families where they just can't afford pencils. I mean, it was
Yeah.
awful. And people don't realize school teachers do this. And it's not like they're making $1 million a year. So truly a special breed of person to take on the job of teaching and all the stress. You are the parent for the day of all these kids. And that's a lot. It's a lot for one kid, let alone a whole room. What are the biggest challenges? What could we do to even make it better? What do we need to help teachers make it all better?
I think supporting teachers in education and knowing that teachers are partnering with the community, seeing us as partners and partners in the things that are happening even at home. And so knowing that if there's something going on that, as a teacher, I like to know if there's something I can do that would be supportive. I see students coming in with a lot of stress. It's, why I wrote my book, Let the Glitter Settle, is because I really know that in order for learning to happen, we have to be in the right state to learn. So when we can partner together and help our students to regulate, to get their brains on track for learning, that's when we can be the most impactful and the most supportive.
So now that we have the lock away the cell phone rule in New Jersey, what kind of changes have you seen from that?
Honestly, that's been incredible. We've been pretty lucky in our school and what I've seen kind of across the state in that we kind of had pretty strong rules. And now that there's no cell phones in our schools and that are away, I think it really helps the students' attention. Just having your cell phone next to you, research shows that can be distracting, even if it's not on. So the fact that it's away, it's out of sight, it really helps with focus. I know as an adult, I'm happy when my phone is away from me. So I'm really glad to see that we're able to help students with their attention in this way.
And it seems every person you talk to in any state where this is done has the same thing. There's not one place I've ever heard where they've said, the kids really need that phone. And I thought there would be more resistance from parents. Really not. They're all happy. Everybody's happy about this. This is a good thing. We got about 30 seconds left. What are your hopes for New Jersey students in 2026?
My hope is that students know how wonderful, strong, and powerful that they are, that stress is a normal function in life, but also so are coping skills and so is resilience, and that they have the power to create the world that we want to live in.
Beautifully stated. Stephanie Locken, our 2025 New Jersey State Teacher of the Year, author of the book, Let the Glitter Settle. Good luck with the book, by the way. Thank you for coming on this morning. Very happy holidays to you, and congratulations once again for being a great representative of teachers through the year.
Thank you so much, Ken. It was great to chat with you today.
Thanks, same here. 7:43 right now. When we come back, we'll talk about how women can build real sustainable wealth. Coming back in 2 minutes. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey. with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime, anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, 745. It is a cold 14 degrees in northern New Jersey, 11 degrees down in Trenton. We are taking calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Pavetta will be right back with the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, you know it's cold when you put an ice cube outside, Nick comes back in the house.
It does go back in the house, yeah. I'm not sure about you, but I've switched to the flannel pants this morning. I know you and I are both into the shorts, for the morning show, but here we are. Here we are, Ken, with the pants bundled up, trying to stay warm. You've got coffee, I have the espresso, maybe make some tea, just something to stay extra warm today. That's it. Gotta warm the belly on a day like today.
Yes,
Something to keep
sir.
you warm, because with the air temperatures this cold, Ken, weather we haven't seen, well, at least since last year, and so far this season, it is the coldest morning yet, with a high of 28 degrees in West Milford. That is just downright chilly. Not even making it to the freezing mark as well for you in Wayne, under mostly sunny skies, but again, air temperature measured in the shade, it's the sun that's barely going to warm us up for this afternoon. The dry air that's been around, keeping us in a drought. So you notice the ground is still a little dusty with some of those leaves that have now fallen all across the state. Little bit of that red showing up, a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit where some of the reservoirs are up in Sussex County. Probably won't see much relief even with tomorrow's little bit of rain. Look at where the cold is for the rest of the month, at least through the day before Christmas Eve. Locked in here in the Northeast with a big surge of heat out to the south and west, and we have equal chances of rain heading into the next 2 weeks, right up until the winter solstice. So our forecast for tomorrow brings back all of that rain and snow through the early part of the morning. Any snow that falls quickly changes to rain. That's why we're not anticipating any accumulation north and south and east of 287. It's north and west of 287. You could have a light crusty coating before it all changes to rain, and then we're just staying chilly with quiet weather right through the rest of the week. Into next week, it gets even colder, with temperatures in the teens climbing only into the 20s for highs. Brutal cold going into the next few days. We'll tell you more about it coming up with a check of your another weather update in a few minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Eventually, Mike, I know that you will get upset with the delay at the end of your forecast. If people knew the craziness that's going on behind the scenes while you're doing weather, as we try to scramble together traffic, because we don't have a separate traffic reporter. I'm it. So we're trying to get traffic going as poor Mike is trying to do a forecast. It's hysterical. But it's like juggling with your nose and with your toes and whatever. We make it happen, right?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Needless to say, it is cold, 14 degrees,
Yeah.
and we appreciate you, sir, and thank you for that forecast. 14 degrees northern New Jersey, 11 degrees in Trenton. It's now 12 degrees in Cape May, and it's 9 degrees, according to this, in Vineland. So because it's inland a little bit, it's a bit colder. There you have it. Let's go over to, do we have the 495 cam, Pam? Yes, the Lion King, Pam. Pam's favorite. All right. So that is likely due to a combination of gridlock alert in Manhattan and eastern sunrise. That glare that's on the lens is also impacting the people making their way east as they head to the helix to curl around and get into the Lincoln Tunnel. So right now, that's costing people 45 minutes. That and the fact that I just popped up, there's a crash on 495 eastbound exit ramp east of the New Jersey Turnpike at North Bergen. So the left lane is blocked. So that's causing that problem. If you look at the left lane, you see how it's barely moving. Okay, so that's part of the issue. So try to avoid there is no other way to get the Lincoln Tunnel there unless you take the local approach. through Weehawken. That's the only way to get there. And I'm sure that's bumper to bumper right now, too. So I might want to take the Holland or the GWB, neither of which is so great. There's a crash now on Route 130, both directions, north of Riverton Road in Cinnaminson Township. The left lane is currently closed. We have a crash that just popped up, 287 southbound, north of exit 5 in Piscataway to north of exit 4. All lanes are open, but it's about a 2.5-mile delay. Right now, we have a crash on the Garden State southbound, just south of exit 159. That's by the Rockland County border. Saddlebrook Township, the right lane is blocked there. And a traffic signal down Route 67 southbound, south of Route 56 Main Street, Fort Lee, with the right lane closed. Waterman Break Route 46 in Totowa, and a down pole Route 23 in Wanted. There's a lot happening today. We take a look at, let's see, the Lincoln Tunnel we've talked about. Holland Tunnel is now 35 minutes in. GWB upper and lower level. The crash on the lower level by the tolls, which is on the left side. So you see that's moving very slowly. Right side is only going to save you a couple of minutes either way. It's going to cost you 45 to 50 minutes into Manhattan, all due to a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. And yes, Pam, our director, is laughing at the fact that there is a car stuck behind that green truck there in the middle who was trying to use the shoulder to illegally avoid everybody else. And now they're stuck behind a tractor trailer that seems broken down. So that's one of the reasons why you don't use the shoulder, because that's what will happen. Okay. It is 7:51, and Hallie Evelyn is a transformational wealth coach, a speaker, and an author. Hallie helps women break out of old patterns around money, impact, joy, and freedom. What many of her clients call her signature velvet hammer approach. We'll talk about that. She's also the author of the book, The Passive Income Power Plan, which outlines ways to make money while you sleep. And she leads success retreats all over the world. Talk about the one in Egypt. We say good morning to Hallie. Good to have you on today.
Thank you so much, Ken. I'm pleased to be here.
Awesome. And by the way, our director and I kept saying, and I know you're not supposed to do this, you have the coolest hair, the most incredible hair. Oh my God,
You're
what I
so
would do to
kind.
have hair like that. God bless you. Well, first of all,
Well, you
what is
wouldn't be a
what
news
is
anchor.
No, but you know what? I would give up news anchoring for that. That's beautiful. Seriously. First, I'm sorry. I'll refocus. What is a transformational wealth coach? Talk about that, because it sounds like we need one of you in everyone's life.
Oh, that's a great idea. What I do is I shift people into new money patterns and habits that they always wanted to have, structures and different attitudes than they've ever had before around money. Most of us have a lot of negative history, baggage, ancestral stuff that we're carrying around. Money doesn't grow on trees. Wealth is bad. You got to give away your money as soon as you get it. People have a lot of stories around that. And I help you break out of all of those forever.
I love it. And you've said that many successful women end up stuck in those patterns, right, when it comes to money and freedom. So is it just family and what we've heard? Is it sort of pop culture that ingrains into our heads? And how do you snap out of that? How much does it take to get out of that habit?
Let me give you a tiny bit of history. Women couldn't have access to their own bank accounts, their own mortgages, or their own credit cards until 1974. We think, oh, it was in the dark ages. No, it was in the disco era. So that's really hard because it's only been 51 years, just a couple of months ago, that was the anniversary of when women could have access to their own cash. So we're talking about a really old sense and a very pervasive experience of, I can't have this, and this tiny little bit of modern history where you could. So I think that is culturally where a lot of people are still coming from. And I think this generation is the time to change all of that. Now, you asked another question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
You
just
say
want
it
to pop
again?
in really fast and say, I wanted to pop in really fast and say what's crazy about that is we're Italian Americans, my family. In every case I know, the mother is the one that ran the household budget. Like the father just brought the check in, whatever, when it was just the one income. It was always the mother who was the person who knew how to budget. So this is why it's so crazy that I never even realized it was that recent. So I'm sorry, I had to jump in and say that.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that educating people about this is very important because people don't really know. And women are very good with money. It's not just Italian women, it's all women are very good with money and have not been given a chance to experience that. So, energetically, it's like you're telling stories that are very old and not necessarily accurate at all about what's possible.
Wow. So talk about the velvet hammer method and why it's so effective.
One of my clients nicknamed me that, and I think it's stuck. It's a hammer in the sense that I'm not pulling any punches. I'm going to give you exactly what you need, and I'm going to get there really fast. The velvet part is it's wrapped up in this very nice person who really wants to help. So I'm not mean to people, but I am looking to get you there the very fastest way possible. Now, you asked
Right.
me about what people could do to break out of these habits, and I want to just mention that you can shift this very quickly by starting to tell yourself different stories, by agreeing every single day that you're not going to keep saying the same thing over and over about what you can't have. One very effective and simple way is just to start talking about what you can have. Start thinking bigger, start allowing yourself to have your dreams again. I think we forget that a lot as adults, that we get to have our dreams.
That is awesome. And you have 108 different tips in the book. So can you talk about, let's see, what is number 101? No, I'm kidding about that. Is there, is there another specific tip? I know these are exclusive tips, but is there another one that maybe we could start on today? And this sounds, by the way, that it goes beyond women. It sounds like men should be listening up very carefully too.
Yeah, so the passive income power plan is the subtitle is 108 ways to make money while you sleep. And the book is actually all different ways to create passive income. And then interwoven is my bumper sticker coaching, because if you get into an emergency, you want a really short piece of coaching that you can remember in that emergency. So that's why it has to be short enough to fit on a bumper sticker. And I won't give you any particular ways except to say that there are some in there that you're going to have heard of: real estate, stocks, bonds, things like that. And there's others that are going to be pretty unusual. I was speaking to a radio host who was shocked to find out that he could clone his own voice and make royalties from it, and pretty excited about it. I think he was going out there to start his own passive income stream.
I love it. I love it. We're down to just the last minute, so we need to get people need to look up your signature retreat in Egypt, but we're down to the wires. So give everybody your website, please, so they can check you out.
The best website to go to right now is halliewealth.com, where you can get more information about the book and pick up some freebies there as well. And you can write to me there if you're interested in going to Egypt with me. How's that?
Awesome. Transformational wealth coach, speaker, and author of the book, The Passive Income Power Plan, Hallie Evelyn. Thank you for coming on. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Ken.
You bet. We're coming back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Light is a nonprofit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Good morning to you. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We will take your calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here just a moment with a very cold Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
I love it, Mike. I'm looking down at the thermometer reading. It's not flashing. So I don't know what flashing means. I think it's trying to say is like, dude, get me inside. It's damn cold. That's what it is. So officially, that's the temperature. Damn cold.
True. We left sweater weather weeks ago. We're now in like the parka weather, with the extra hood, maybe just second jacket at this point. I mean, so chilly. And it's the wind too that kind of gets under all of those layers and makes you feel extra cold right now with an actual air temperature reading of 5 degrees in Sussex. No, that's not a wind chill. Actual air temperature of 19 in Hackensack, 9 in Flemington, even down the shore, Atlantic City. Feels like 11 degrees there. Plenty of cold weather around. We're bordering on 0, just 2 degrees above 0 right now in Sussex, 3 above in Morristown. So yeah, plenty of cold weather around. The wind's a little bit stronger down the shore, but these winds will be gustier all across the state throughout this afternoon, really enhancing that deep freeze where it's 22 degrees colder right now as opposed to this time yesterday. So it looks like there's some clouds across New Jersey, but no, that's not the case. It's actually the cold air that's tricking the satellite sensor into thinking that there are clouds around. With all of the chilly weather throughout this afternoon, we have a little bit of a breeze that comes in off of the water tonight, slowly helping temperatures rise to just above freezing, helping tomorrow's snow change over to rain by later in the morning. It's mostly rain at the coast and a steady rain at that. Oh, a sideways rain too? I know, adding insult to injury going into the end of the day with those heavier showers and gusty winds, and then it all dries out by tomorrow night, bringing back clearing conditions, but again, more cold throughout Thursday and Friday with highs starting off in the teens, climbing only into the 20s, probably not even making it above freezing in the northern counties all day long on Thursday and Friday. The next few days featuring the chill. Again, any light accumulation quickly washes away north and west with that late round of snow, which again quickly changes to rain. So it's Friday into Saturday, bringing back the cold and staying chilly going into next weekend.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. We got to do our traffic live on there if we could. The New Jersey Turnpike tour, please, Pam. It's mile marker 100. North of Interchange 13, please. So we have right now a disabled vehicle on the New Jersey Turnpike northbound. It's entering at Interchange 13, which is 278 Goethals Bridge in Linden. The left lane is blocked, so you can see as cars are rounding about there on the left lane. That's as they're going around the bend. It's about half a mile ahead of what we're looking at right here. Over to the Garden State, we have a disabled vehicle on the GSP northbound north of the Driscoll Bridge in Zayreville. The center lane is blocked there. And in downtown Jersey City, we have a disabled vehicle on 12th Street, eastbound Grove Street in Jersey City. The center lane is blocked in Jersey City. We have another Garden State Park issue that just popped up, a crash on the GSP northbound exiting at 127, Route 440, Woodbridge, the center lane blocked there. We have a crash on 287, southbound from north of exit 5, which is Piscataway, to north exit 4, Durham Road, South Plainfield, all lanes open, but that's about a 2-mile delay. Traffic signal down Route 67 in Fort Lee, a water main break Route 46 in Totowa, and a down pole Route 23 by Punt School Road in Wantage. Wow, there's a lot happening. We go over to the Hudson River crossings. Lincoln and Holland both reporting 40 minutes in Manhattan on a gridlock alert day today. The GWB upper and lower levels right now, that crash that was by the toll plaza on the lower level has been cleared, but nonetheless, the damage is done. It's going to cost you 45 to 50 minutes in, upper level on the right, lower on the left. 8:04 is our time right now, and New Jersey's economic ties continue to grow globally. And one major initiative happening right now is a trade mission to Mexico, led by Choose New Jersey, in partnership with the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. Carlos Medina is the president and CEO of the chamber. We say good morning and welcome. Happy holidays, Carlos.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And this is a big deal, this trade mission to Mexico, because this brings New Jersey commerce directly to Mexico and bypasses anything else, right? So, how big is this for businesses in the Garden State?
I mean, it's huge. The amount of trade that takes place currently is huge. But now you could possibly bypass the federal government and just do business, state to state. We went to 3 different states there in Mexico. And again, welcoming open arms, very aggressively wanting to do business directly with the United States where possible and where it's logical.
So here's the question, though, is we're still subject to tariffs and stuff, right? I mean, it just because we're doing business directly, we still have to follow all the U.S. rules. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, definitely, Ken. That's accurate.
Okay. But the amazing thing is California has been doing this forever, right? California has been sending their chamber representatives all over the world as if they're their own country, bragging about the fact that they're the 4th or whatever biggest economy in the world. Meanwhile, New Jersey, because of our ports, because of our locale between Philadelphia and New York, this is prime. We have so much major industry right here. It's brilliant that you're saying, hey, why not? And then Hispanic culture specifically. Yo hablo español también. Una parte de mi familia viene de Argentina. So this is a huge deal in this state, and it's awesome that the opportunities are being presented like this to do business directly with such a huge economy in Mexico.
Yeah, and we brag about the gross domestic product here in the tri-state area. I mean, just New Jersey, the GDP, exceeds what's the number right now? Well, I'm drawing a blank here, but I know it's 3 billion, I believe.
Trillion, right? Just from tri-state.
And then
Wow.
nationally, I know it's 4 trillion,
Right.
the GDP. So the amount of business already being done, already understanding the culture, the language. So it's almost like plug and play. They come in, they know that there's a chamber environment that's, an environment that's trying to help business. It's an ally. So I think it was a really positive. Just the warmth that we felt being there it's hard to put words on it, Ken.
That's awesome. I mean, we forget, or many people don't realize, like La Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City is one of the largest cities on the planet, bigger than New York. And there is so much money there. There's a lot of wealth concentrated. In fact, probably outside of Cancun, more of the country's wealth is concentrated in that city than anywhere else in all of Mexico. And the idea that we can reach them directly and bypass somebody in Washington who makes decisions and go directly to them and say, hey, we can deal with you directly. We don't need a middleman, is just so brilliant. You work a lot with Hispanic entrepreneurs in the States. So how does the mission help elevate Hispanic-owned businesses here that may have otherwise maybe not gotten a shot?
Yeah, they're getting a spotlight on them. This mission was unique in the sense that there were some non-delegates that were able to tag along. So the governor allowed some of our small businesses to kind of pay their own way and stay on their own and attend meetings. So that perspective in some of the meetings proved to be so invaluable, because it's one thing to see a large corporation talking about a grant, but when you see the smaller organizations that they could really look at and model themselves after, it was very, very moving to hear many of our members talk about the positive ecosystem that exists for Hispanic businesses here in New Jersey.
Awesome. Carlos, are there specific industries where you see like the strongest potential for growth coming out of this?
I mean, fintech was very big there. Two of the meetings were with very large individuals looking to invest, and they rather invest in companies that are, Hispanic owned here in the tri-state area, agriculture, film, entertainment. So there's a lot of industry that mirrors what's going on here in Jersey, with especially with the studios that keep on opening up. They have a similar push to try to drive film there in Mexico as well.
That's a big deal. Talk about what a typical day is like at a trade mission like this, just for people I've never been. I've always wondered. I've only written, but from far. So talk about what a typical day is there.
Yeah, so you get up, you probably have a breakfast already scheduled with, let's say, with Minister of Trade from a state, and then you have that meeting. It could be 20 people. Then you move to one on fintech, which might be smaller, so it might be just myself, the chairman of the chamber, a select few presidents from universities here in New Jersey, and then meeting, let's say, with FIFA. So you have that meeting for an hour, then you do a lunch with with a local chamber that does business with New Jersey and the tri-state area. So it's pretty well packed, the meetings, and the governor also taking place. He has other meetings taking place at the same time, so he's being ushered in and out of meetings. So it's a lot of moving pieces, but yeah, Choose does a great job, and the state of New Jersey. So it was a pleasure to be the first time that a non-governmental entity partners with Choose and with the state to do one of these. So it was a good time, and we're very fortunate to have had that experience.
I love it. What's a website for more information, or for, like, say I'm a small company, especially a Latino company in the state, and I want to take part in the future? What's the website? How can I get in
Sure.
touch?
shccnj.org. Yeah,
This
we
is
just
awesome.
redid the website, so encourage folks to check it out and sign up for the newsletter and be part of familia, as we say.
There you go. And this brings tax money and wealth into New Jersey too, because it creates more jobs here. It helps the whole state. And you are the ambassador from New Jersey to Mexico. This is it's like you think, why hasn't this been done for decades? It's just so smart. Carlos Medina, President, CEO of the Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. Thank you for coming on this morning. Very happy holidays to you.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you. Please come on again. It is coming up on 8:13. When we come back, the gaming industry is undergoing massive global change. How is it impacting the Garden State? You're watching On New Jersey Mornings on a very cold Tuesday morning. We're coming back in 2 minutes. Go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:15. A very chilly morning right now, 14 degrees in Trenton. It is 19 degrees in northern New Jersey. And we're taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So, Pam, you'll like this. I'm streaming on Instagram Live. In fact, here, let's give everybody a look. We'll do it. We'll go both ways. So that's Instagram Live streaming right now. And as I'm streaming, I see it. I see the name Amphveta pop up. So Mike decided to
I
eavesdrop
was
on the
curious.
Instagram
Like, oh,
Live.
what's Ken up to in the commercial break?
So there you go. So here, I'll send you a little
Mm,
message, a little reach out there. But one thing we can talk about is the fact that it is darn cold. Is it going to get
yes.
milder today or what?
No, that's the problem, especially for those that are waiting to put up the outdoor Christmas decorations. Oh man, boy, did you miss your window, especially with the cold weather that's reinforced with some rain tomorrow and then further punches of cold air going into Thursday and Friday. We start off with clear sky now, but the sun not going to do anything to warm us up. Upper 30s only as a high, 36 in Freehold, 38 in Long Branch. And with the wind chill throughout this afternoon remaining in the 20s, making it feel like the 20s right throughout tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be cold. Tomorrow we have the extra rain that complicates the forecast and makes it even feel chillier. Throughout Thursday morning, we're back in the single digits north and west, teens elsewhere with the wind chill, and then going into Friday, another round of cold weather, single digits north and west, teens across the state, only climbing to what will feel like the upper 20s, so it gets even colder going into next week. With the winds very gusty tomorrow, could be gusting up to gale force at the beaches tomorrow and down the shore, and with that, the horizontal rain, not a pretty forecast at all, especially with chill, with further cold weather moving in from the west and all the chilly air, and of course, gusty winds making the wind chill feel that much colder. It's kind of the same thing into Thursday and Friday. Our storm for tomorrow, the snow changing to rain, is still off to our north and west, and as it moves on by, giving us the clouds later on tonight, and then the rain and snow early tomorrow morning. Really, only if you're north and west of 287 will you see the snow fall. It's a quick rain system that delivers just wet weather throughout the late morning and early afternoon for the rest of New Jersey, and then clears out around 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So with that quick clearing comes more cold air, and that chilly weather lasts into Thursday and Friday and the upcoming weekend, getting even colder next week. So as every new round of cold air comes in, it drops the temperature even more into the next few days. And that'll be the case by Sunday. Our high only makes it to 33 degrees. We'll probably stay below the freezing mark by Monday and Tuesday of next weekend. So really cold stuff on the way as we wrap up fall, feeling like the middle of winter.
Yeah, sure does. Let's just hope that by the second week of winter, we'll start to feel like spring. See, if it goes that
That would
way,
be lovely.
I'm good with
Yes.
that. I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Pam's screaming at me in my ear right now. It's all right, Pam. Mother Nature never listens to me, so it's okay. Mike, thank you very much, sir. It is a very chilly 14 degrees right now in Trenton. It's 17 now in northern New Jersey, and it's 16 degrees down in Vineland. It is 18 degrees in Cape May. So apparently by the water, it's a little bit more moderated, if you will, because the water temperature is always It always lags about 2 months behind the air temperature, so the water temperature is a little milder. Let's go over to our traffic. Disabled tractor trailer now I-78 westbound, west of exit 48, Route 24 west in Springfield. The right lane of 3 lanes blocked, causing that delay you see on your screen. Then we have a traffic signal down on Route 67 southbound, south of Route 56, Main Street, Fort Lee, with the right lane closed. Over to Route 17 southbound by Hollywood Avenue in Ho-Hocus. Pam loves the fact that Ho-Hocus has dashes in there in its name, Ho-Hocus. 2 left lanes, the 3 lanes closed, causing the mess you see right there. We have a crash on 287 southbound north of exit 5 in Piscataway to north of exit 4, Durham Road, South Plainfield. All lanes are open. It's about a 2-mile delay, though. Over to the Jersey Turnpike. We have a disabled vehicle on the turnpike northbound entering at interchange 13, which is 278 Goethals Bridge in Linden. The left lane is blocked, and you see these people on the left, and that is part of the problem there. They're all having to merge together as a result. We have a water main break in Totowa, Route 46 by Riverview Drive, and that's causing delays and a down pole. Actually, all lanes closed there. We have a down pole on Route 23, both directions impacted by Pond School Road in Wantage. Delays on Route 3 westbound, Garden State Park to 46 and Clifton. All lanes are open, just heavy volume. And over to your Hudson River crossings, the Lincoln is now 40 minutes in. Holland is 35 to 40. This is gridlock alert day, so beware of that. GWB upper and lower levels, bumper to bumper mess. It's going to cost you close to an hour now. And the GWB making your way into Manhattan. Again, a gridlock alert day is in effect. It's 8:21, and the gaming industry is undergoing massive global change, from explosive audience growth to major shifts in how players spend, how developers build, and even how games get distributed. Chris Hewish is the president of Xsolla, a global leader in video game commerce. And he's been to the forefront of industry trends, including a surge to more than 3.6 billion gamers. That is a huge number. We say good morning to Chris.
Good morning, Ken. Thank you for having me on today.
It is great. I couldn't wait to talk to you. When I was writing this out last night, I thought, you reach literally half the frickin' planet. What drives this massive global expansion of the gaming industry? What is this about?
You are right, Ken. Gaming truly is a global growth engine, and you mentioned the number of players worldwide, which continues to grow year over year. In fact, gaming now is larger than music and movies combined when you look at the amount of revenue that it generates. And it really is being driven at this time by increased adoption of smartphones all around the world, increased connectivity through better bandwidth on internet and mobile networks, and just rapid growth in a lot of emerging markets like Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and then of course continued growth in the established markets like the US and Europe.
I was going to ask you how much impact, you talked about connectivity, Elon Musk's satellites, how that has impacted countries and even parts of the U.S. where it was out of reach to get high-speed internet. Now that's basically a thing of the past. You can get internet even at the North Pole. So how has that impacted? Have you seen an explosive growth now since that has happened in the last couple of years?
We really have. And, it's funny you mention, what is it, Starlink is, I believe, the Elon Musk satellite product there. A great and sort of anecdote on how that has affected the games industry was, I live down here in North Carolina, and when Asheboro was affected by the storms a few years ago, there was a small game developer there, and they were able to keep themselves up and running because they had one of these satellite links. So they were uninterrupted in their ability to work, which is one side of the equation, of course. And then the ability for players to be able to get those games wherever they are is just incredibly beneficial. And, that is not just, as you pointed out, in emerging markets, but even here in the US, as more and more counties and places around the country are finally getting fast connectivity to the internet. One of the main things that they're doing is playing games, which is fantastic for the industry. And it also just brings people together. It really is the largest sort of common connectivity across the entire globe. Everywhere people are playing games.
What would be nice is instead of picking up guns and shooting at each other, we do it virtually, and whoever wins virtually wins and leave it at that. Nobody has to die. I mean, maybe we'll get there that day, someday. That would be really nice. Somebody I talked to recently, a therapist, not for personal reasons, but had a theory about this and said that if especially young testosterone-filled men, and I know you have a lot of women in the gaming industry now, but a lot of men, let them get out their frustrations playing this wherever they are picking up guns with big gangs and militia around the world and watch how wars stop. It would be interesting to see. Now, industry revenue right now is expected to hit 189 billion by the end of this year, so for 2025. Is there a specific platform or platforms that lead that growth?
So that's one of the great things about the video game industry is every time a new technology comes on the scene, the industry embraces it. People play games on it. So there's always new platforms that people are playing on. The growth is the majority of growth is happening on mobile as that continues to expand worldwide. People are playing their games longer. They're engaging with them more socially. And so mobile accounts for probably half of that. But we still have very strong and continued growth in PC gaming, console gaming with your PlayStations and Xboxes and Nintendos, which I'm sure there'll be a lot of those unwrapped in a few weeks under the trees. And then you have other areas of growth such as virtual reality, augmented reality, cloud gaming. So it's amazing. Everywhere there's technology, you'll find games and you'll find people playing and spending on those games.
And I touched on it briefly, but women now make up 52% of American gamers. That was a shock to me. How is that influencing the kinds of games being made now?
Yeah, that is a really fantastic stat. Women have been increasing their share of the player base year over year, and the industry is finally responding. So, as you said, women make up 52% of the US players, and this is driving shifts in games, in the popularity of games, community standards, how people are treating one another in these online environments, things like game design, the types of games that are being presented. We're seeing more women in leadership roles as well, which is fantastic. So that's inspiring developers to build more inclusive, more profitable experiences. So I think just better, kinder experiences overall. The social and the puzzle genres are certainly the main genres for women, but you do see an increasing number of women playing what you would typically consider to be a guy's game, whether it be one of these shooters like Call of Duty or League of Legends. So women are really strong in the industry. It's making it more, I would say, inclusive for everybody.
Guys getting their asses kicked by women, they find out later. Whoops, sorry about that,
There's some
guys.
students out there you can see, yes.
There you go. We have about 20 seconds left. What's a website, Chris, for more information for you guys?
Our website is xsolla.com, spelled XSOLLA.com, and we have plenty of information about the industry there, including our quarterly, our biannual industry report that you can go download now.
All right, Chris Hewish, president of Xsolla, thank you for coming on. Happy holidays, my friend.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right. It is now 8:27. When we come back, the Festival of Trees is back in Morris County. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. We're back in 2 minutes.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, staying healthy and aging in place, to find purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Very good morning. Welcome back to On Jersey Mornings. It is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. It's 19 degrees northern New Jersey. It is 14 degrees in Trenton. It is cold. Meteorologist Mike Pavetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, it is certainly a three-jacket day. Meteorologist
Yeah.
Mike Pavetta, how long is this chill going to last?
Got a double glove this afternoon, too. That's important because even though it's sunny, like you mentioned, so much cold weather around. The sky is clear. The visible satellite now showing no clouds over New Jersey, so we're nice and dry into this afternoon. But we'll likely see a little bit of a wind pickup, especially down the shore off of the water through this afternoon, warming you into the low 40s, but the rest of the state stays cold in the upper 30s. Your proximity to water makes it a little bit better. Wind gusts right now have lightened up a little bit on 13-mile-per-hour winds in Cape May. That will jump into the 30-mile-per-hour range by tomorrow afternoon when the rain is coming down. So we're far from our average of 47 degrees for our high. We're closer to our average low as our high for today. With all that clear sky around this afternoon, keeping eyes peeled for the snow and rain that get going tomorrow in northwestern Jersey. Notice today, temperatures struggling just to make it even close to average. And then by this evening, the clouds move in. Tomorrow morning around 7 a.m., right along the Delaware, I think that's where the snow and rain begins, quickly transitioning to all rain statewide before it moves out by the afternoon. And we're left with cold, dry weather and breezy conditions in through tomorrow evening. So wind chill again going to be another factor into Thursday morning with actual air temperature down in the 20s statewide. Wind chills making it feel again like the single digits, very similar to this morning. For Friday, it's another round of cold weather, and we just see cold shot of air after cold shot of air come racing on through over the next several days. You see, most of the snow happens upstate or out west. It's not really an issue for us here in New Jersey. That warm wind changes any of that icy, snowy mix to plain rain. And then going into the weekend, another maybe brief shot of some flurries by Friday night down the shore. But beyond that, we stay dry into the 7-day forecast. Into next week, it stays cold still. In fact, it's even chillier after this weekend, where highs struggle to make it out of the 30s. We may not leave the 20s by Monday of next week, even down the shore, starting off in the teens and low 20s, climbing to 33 as a high. So we're not done with this cold anytime soon, Ken, at least for the rest of fall. As December 21st, the first morning of winter, it seems like a far, far distance away.
Thanks for pointing that out. Yes, sir, indeed. I appreciate that. Yeah, very, very cold. In fact, I have to look at different sources now for my local temperature because my thermometer is still saying 21 degrees. I think it froze, but it says 16 degrees. That makes more sense, right? 16
Mhm.
degrees in New Jersey, but that's off my phone. Hopefully, it's an accurate local weather station, and we're told 14 in Trenton. So I guess the further you are inland, when you're away from the bodies of water that lag behind with the temperatures, the further you are inland, the colder the temperature. Am I right with that?
Exactly. And it's flipped in March and April when it's 75 degrees away from the coast, but you head down the shore and it feels like the 40s on the beach because the water is so cold it takes a while to warm up.
Is it like 2 months roughly? I know in Florida, it's the same
Roughly,
thing. You
yeah.
go down in Florida,
Mhm.
like September, October, it's really hot at the shore in Florida. And by January, it starts to feel cold. When I say cold, 68, 70. For them, it's cold. Pretty
Yeah.
much everywhere in Florida. So, all right, Mike, we'll check back, sir. Thank you very much. In terms of traffic, we have a lot of that. Let's go over to the Turnpike, shall we? This is a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike. Hudson County Extension westbound east of Newark Bay Bridge in Bayonne. All lanes are open now because you have that vehicle off to the right there on the shoulder, but you could see everybody rubbernecking as they go past that. That all happened in the last half hour, causing problems there. We have an issue on I-78 right now, and in fact, it just updated. Yes, we have a disabled tractor trailer I-78 west of exit 48, Route 24 west in Springfield. Right lane is closed there. We also have issues on Route 23 with a down pole, both directions impacted by Pond School Road in Wantage. Route 73 southbound south of Route 41, Maple Shade Township. Left lane is closed due to a crash there. Disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway northbound south of 145 I-280 in East Orange with left lane blocked. GWB. Actually, no, we're doing 78, aren't we? We have 78 first. I'm sorry about that. Disabled tractor trailer 78 westbound. We did that. Okay, I'm sorry, Pam. That's why I had everything's out of order because they're updating right now. We have a crash on Route 17 southbound by Hollywood Avenue, Hohokus. 2 left lanes closed there. 287 has crashed southbound by exit 5 in Piscataway, and that's causing a 2-mile delay. And a water main break on Route 46. That water main break is located in Totowa. Try to avoid that because that's icing over immediately. Your Hudson River approaches right now on this gridlock alert day in Manhattan. The Lincoln and Holland are both now reporting 40, 45 minutes in. It is bumper to bumper. And look at the GWB upper and lower levels, not much better. Your upper level is on the right, lower on the left. That'll cost you 50 to 60 minutes into Manhattan. Our time now is 8:36 with the holiday season in full swing. One of Morris County's most beloved traditions is back, the Festival of Trees at the Frelinghuysen Arboretum. This annual celebration features 35 beautifully decorated trees, all created by local businesses and residents. There are tickets available now. It runs December 12th and 13th, 19th and 20th, 27th through the 31st, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Ann Fahey is the Superintendent of Horticulture Education at the Morris County Park Commission. We say good morning and welcome, Ann.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for putting all this together. When did you first start the Festival of Trees there?
Yeah, we started 3 years ago, and it's held in our mansion at the Frelinghuysen Arboretum.
Beautiful.
We actually have 40 trees this year. We got a few more.
Nice. And how does
Um,
it happen? Do people or groups sponsor it and then come up with their own tree? Is that how that works?
yeah, so what happens is we provide the tree, and then groups, individuals come, they volunteer, they bring their ornaments, and they decorate. We have scout groups, the more seniors, just individuals. We have friend groups just come, um, like you said, businesses. So it's just amazing that all these people come and just donate their time and their creativity, and they make the most professional looking trees. It's just amazing. And then the mansion is all decorated with garlands, a beautiful, festive environment.
And for those who say the Frelinghuysen, that sounds like a familiar name. This is the same family we've had a lot of elected officials from, right? They've been in central and northern New Jersey for literally centuries, and they
Yes.
helped build the state of New Jersey. So it's beautiful. You have this public building that is used to be a home for one of the Frelinghuysen. So it's beautiful that exists for people to see. It's a treasure in the state of New Jersey. Just curious, have you ever thought about, now that I know it's still in its relative infancy, third year, but 40 trees is good for 3 years. Have you ever thought about having like a sponsor come in and maybe the Arboretum benefits or whatever, and having a contest who has the best tree? I'm just thinking that way. I'm thinking 2 years down the line.
I know everybody asks me about a contest. Okay. So I have not done a contest, and I'll tell you, I mean, every tree is so beautiful. I don't know who would win. We do ask like the visitors to come when they see their trees to share what their favorite one is. We're always interested. But especially this year, the trees are amazing. We have a tree that is decorated with butterflies. We have, like I said, our seniors came and they crocheted all their ornaments. So I don't know. I'm not. I'll think about a contest, but I think they all get first prize.
Absolutely. I think that's sweet. But you could open it up to online and let people vote online. It'll become kind of a popularity contest. But this way, if maybe you can get organizations to donate a chunk of money, and this all goes to charitable, make it to the Arboretum, or you could pick a charity of your choice. And then you'd have people vote online, and the winner, wins a donation in their name to either the Arboretum or to a great charity of the choosing. And I think that's a nice way to get the community together, because it's such a fun thing to do. It's such a communal thing to come together and decorate a tree like that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I actually, the first year, I did not know what was going to happen. I just put it out there. I asked the community to come decorate trees, and I had no idea the level of creativity and professionalism I would get on these trees. They're amazing. Yeah, everyone has to come see them. We also do have a scavenger hunt that is included with the price of admission. So you come in, take the scavenger hunt, and you do get a prize. We made it for kids, but it turned out that adults do it also. And it's also great for like a date night. Come in and bring your date and do a scavenger hunt and go home with a nice little prize.
And it's a nice way to get in the holiday spirit. It's a fun thing to do. It's just a pretty thing to see. Now you're booking up, right? What are there certain days that are more popular? Should people book their tickets online ASAP?
Yes, so book now. So there's two different ways you can go online, morrisparks.net, or we have a new app, MCPC Parks. It's really easy to do on the app, so I recommend everybody getting the app. And then you can come to all our events and programs here. But I can tell you the 12th, the first opening day, is pretty booked. So definitely book now, so you
I
don't
love it.
miss it. You
And,
won't miss anything.
and this helps support the whole mission of the Morris County Park Commission, right?
That is correct, yes. So it's a nominal fee. It's $10 a person. But, that all is helps us put on more programming, helps us maintain the parks. And as you know, in Morris County, we have beautiful parks.
I live in Morris County now, and I
Mhm.
came from Essex. I love Morris County is beautiful. It's just beautiful. And yes, the parks are what make it. So you're 100% right. I'm with you. She is the superintendent of horticulture education at the Morris County Park Commission. And Fahey, very happy holidays to you. Thank you for coming on this morning, and thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you. Happy holidays to you too, and to everyone out
Thank
there.
you. You bet. Thank you. 8:43, a chilly morning. When we come back, we'll talk with meteorologist Mike Fabetta about the full Garden State forecast, and we'll talk to a special man from a Mazda dealership. You're going to want to tune in to that. We're coming back in 2 minutes.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Get your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune to AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering. We've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:45. We're taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Very cold morning. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike. So it is Chilly Willy was a bear. Chilly Willy had no hair. How does that go? I forget the rest of it. Something about a pumpkin patch. That's why I would tune out when I would hear that at school. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Was he chilly or
There it is.
wasn't he? We'll have to find out.
Sam is in our ear
Hey,
trying to tell us the rest of it.
well, you
We'll,
know,
we'll work
it's
on it.
your ears might freeze by this afternoon if you don't have the earmuffs today. That's how cold it is, especially with the chilly weather lasting into this evening and another round of cold for tomorrow, as highs don't even make it into the 30s or above freezing there in northern New Jersey, with the exception of Jersey City. Everywhere else, it's at or below that freezing mark. The drought continues. A quick check of our moisture with the dry weather that's been pretty persistent. Even though we get rain tomorrow, there won't be enough to make up for the 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit there in northern New Jersey, and that drought extends even abnormally dry conditions down toward the coast. Cooler than average right through the day before Christmas Eve, and even with our rain chances equal going into the next few weeks, it's been pretty dry. And usually when it is this dry, thanks to all of that dense cold air deflecting any moisture system out to sea, tomorrow, yeah, we get a little bit of rain for a couple hours, and then we're right back to the dry weather for at least the next 6 to 7 days, because by the end of the weekend to early next week, our highs, Ken, do not even climb above freezing this time next week. We will be in the deep freeze, even colder, heading to the last few days of fall.
So this is the perfect time to store your frozen food products out of the sun in a chest outside if you have a tiny freezer. Is that what you're saying?
Friday into the weekend, yeah, you could get by with that.
So if you're doing like a Friendsgiving type thing still, I know it's a
Sure.
couple of weeks later, but that's okay. I always think ahead like that. All right, Mike, thank you very much, sir. We'll check back. No, we won't check back. That was our last one. I appreciate the chilly updates. We'll check in tomorrow with you, sir. Thank you.
See you then.
20 degrees now, northern New Jersey. It is 14 degrees still in Trenton, 17 degrees in Vineland, and it's 19 degrees in Cape May. 8:48 is our time. In terms of traffic, we have a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike Hudson County Extension eastbound, east of interchange 14 by I-78 in Newark. All lanes now open to traffic. You could see the accidents off on the right there on the shoulder, but causing rubbernecking that lasts about 2 miles. So that's not a pretty scene there. We have a water main break, Route 33 eastbound, east of Route 18 in Neptune. All lanes are closed there. And a down pole on Route 23, both directions, north of Pond School Road and Wantage. All lanes are closed. Over to 78. Right now, we have a crash being dealt with. Actually, I'm sorry, disabled tractor trailer. not a crash. Disabled tractor trailer. It's on 70 westbound west of exit 48, Route 24, Springfield, with the right lane of the 3 lanes closed, causing the damage you see on your screen right now. We have a water main break 73 northbound south of 38 in Maple Shade. The right lane is closed there. And we have, let's see, our last is going to be Route 46 water main break westbound by Riverview Drive in Totowa, with all lanes closed. We go over to the Hudson River crosses. Lincoln and Holland both reporting 40 minutes in. It's a gridlock alert in Manhattan. Look at the GWB, upper and lower. Actually, a little better on the upper than it was. Lower levels still bumper to bumper. It's going to cost you at least 45 minutes in. But once you get in Manhattan, that's a whole other story with a gridlock alert day, in fact. 8:49 is our time, and Pine Belt Mazda is partnering with local schools in a big way. Earlier this month, Pine Belt Mazda and Point Pleasant High School teamed up to host Mazda's Be Moved Drive program. It's an initiative designed to support education and strengthen community connections. They raised a total of $10,000 for Point Pleasant High School's On Point program, which helps support students and build strong ties between the school and the community. Robert Sickle is the owner of Pine Belt Mazda and the 2025 chairman of Mazda's National Dealer Advisory Council. We say good morning to you, Rob.
Good morning, Ken. Thank you so much for having me on.
I always smile when I see Mazda because I had a Mazda for 4 years that lasted, it was an MX-6, I think. Is that right? Is that the model? I believe it was. And it
Certainly
lasted
could be.
me 288,000 miles. I drove that. And it still ran. It still ran. So that is, I have a very nice spot in my heart for Mazda, and I will never forget the quality of that vehicle. And I talk about it all the time whenever I hear someone. My parents got a Mazda not long ago too. Anyway, that aside, a great brand. For viewers who may not have been there, talk us through what happened with the Be Move Drive program that you hosted with Point Pleasant High School. What was the energy like?
Sure. The energy was fantastic. Mazda came in and did a whole activation there, setting up different stations for people to come in and register. We had different models out there for all of the people to test drive. And of course, every test drive earned the school a $50 donation, up to $10,000, as you mentioned.
And that is one heck of a fundraiser. How did you get? I mean, are you surprised you got the 200 test drives? That's a big number.
No, Point Borough Schools has a lot of support, a lot of community support. So I knew that when we were going to partner with that school, that between them and us, we'd be able to rally the troops and get enough people there to do the test drives.
Nice. Talk about the On Point program now a little bit, about what the program does and why directing the funds there was so important.
Yeah, the Be On Point program empowers students to succeed and foster a positive environment and community connection through its pillars of respect, responsibility, and pride. The school system is a very community school system. It's of the community, and this is a great way to teach our kids to grow up with these, this. Respect, responsibility, and pride.
Respect, right? Become part of the to be civic minded in the community like
Absolutely.
that. And Mazda does this, right? This is part of a larger community initiative, the Drive program, if you will. It's what you folks call it Be Moved, right? So from your perspective, what makes the Be Moved program for Mazda and all the dealers so special? And how important is that to have that connection to the community?
Sure. I mean, the connection to the community is crucial, and Be Moved is really dedicated to helping people discover what moves them. And education is one of the best ways to do this. We know that education plays a crucial role empowering and helping students discover what inspires them so they can do more of what moves them. Many dealers across the country are extremely philanthropic, and giving back to schools as students is a great way to support your community.
Look, it works all the way around. Yes, of course, it helps build the brand, but it also shows that Mazda is an integral part, right, of a community at large. That you're not just a business. You're a business that is connected with the people because you have real people who live in the community who work for you, and you have real people who are going to be your customers, and it just shows that your feeling is to go beyond the business deal, but now we have a relationship with the community, and that's so important. That's what makes the difference. It becomes a symbiotic relationship with the whole community. Are there other initiatives now that you have with Pine Belt Mazda in your community?
Sure. Pine Belt, we've been in business since 1937, and one of the core values of our organization is giving back to the community and really supporting the communities that support us for the last 88 years. And we've received a lot of support. We do a lot in the community, from hospitals to schools, and really everything in between. And that's really not going to stop.
Well, as a successful business leader in the community, what would you say to other business leaders, business owners in town or in the surrounding areas who want to get more involved in the community, but they don't know where they should start? What advice do you have for them?
Find something that inspires you or something that is meaningful to you, and reach out. Don't wait for someone to reach out to you. Reach out to them. Ask how you can get involved. I'm sure there's really no shortage of ways to get involved. So it's really just being proactive about it.
That's an amazing, wonderful way to be, and that's why you are a successful dealership that's been around for 90 years because you are so involved in your community. And when you think through I'm thinking back at 2007 when we had the financial crisis and so many car dealerships folded. It sort of showed the ones that were seriously involved in the community were the ones that survived. My dad used to work for car dealerships years ago. He was a sales manager, and I remember the fear of, are we going to be able to survive this? Because there was no way to get financing to buy cars. And I remember so many dealerships closed, but the ones that survived were the ones that always stayed part of the community. The community always stuck behind them. What's a website for you guys for more information?
Sure. Anyone can come check us out at pinebeltcars.com. We have, all of our information on there. And, if anyone needs a car, that's where you go.
Well, listen, speaking as a guy, once again, who had a Mazda for 288,000 miles, I know you can't guarantee that, but I could just speak, it's anecdotal. I could speak from personal experience. It lasted me 4.5 years. And I drove it, and I won't say I drove it into the ground because it was still running when I sold it. It's a great product. So good for you guys and all the best to you.
A Mazda owner, I'm sorry, a Mazda owner would tell you that's barely broken in.
That's a great line. I'm gonna tell people. I'm gonna tell my dad that when I see him too later. Robert Sickle, Robert Sickle, owner of Pine Belt Mazda and the 2025 chairman of Mazda's National Dealer Advisory Council. We could see why. Thank you for coming on this morning. A very happy holiday season to you.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
You bet, Rob. Thank you. See, that's so important to get back to the community. And that's how you have organizations survive. And any successful business owner will tell you that's how it's done. Meteorologist Mike Pavetta says we will have morning sun making way for some clouds later. Highs only making it to the low 30s. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Remember, you can stream us at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News on, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, X, and now streamed live on Substack, Rumble, Twitch, and Local Now. We'll catch you again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Tell all your friends about us. Till then, try to bundle up and stay warm. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching on New Jersey Mornings.